My name is Jose Payares. I'm one of the owners at PayOli, and we're here today in Wimauma, Florida, basically completing what's a 256 panel installation, ground mount system for a fish farm. So when we first started this project and we approached the client, and he had a dire need to be able to supplement the need for electricity within his compound. So he had this great idea of having a fish farm, but as you know, keeping the fish alive and all the functioning systems, it requires a lot of pumps. A lot of pumps means a lot of electricity, and finding a way to be renewable is something that this client specifically always had in mind, and we came in to help him. We basically looked at the needs that he would have based on the equipment that he needed. We took an engineering approach to how we could best help him out based on the electrical infrastructure that he had. And as a result, we designed what we call a 104 kW ground mount system. It had about 256 panels and basically gave him also sort of like a canopy so he can actually plant and put vegetation underneath. So when we first came in, to our surprise, there's really no electrical infrastructure on the project. So we really had to take it back to the drawing board, right? Coordinating with the utility on, where the drop downs for the main electrical will be, what kind of electricity we actually needed on the project to make it work. It happened to be what we call a hybrid. You had a little bit of commercial, a little bit of residential. So we had 480 and also 120 on the same project. So we had to split our system, our solar system, to be able to manage both types of electricity and be able to satisfy the need of the client. It's been a long time coming. We've been coordinating this project probably for about a year now with all the different entities. And finally today, as you see here, we've been able to complete it. We've been able to meet all the expectations, all the coordination with the Hillsborough County, with the owner, with TECO, which is the utility company, and going through all the different tests, site plans, studies that they require on the ground, given that this was really what they call a virgin ground. It had not been touched, they had no permits, they had no electrical infrastructure. So again, what we bring to the table is not just a company that's just putting solar. It's a company that it's really looking at the needs of the client, and we will go above and beyond to be able to meet those needs. Our background in construction helps us take a different approach to solar and how we tackle different problems, and this project is a perfect example of that. It's been proven as time passes by on the farming industry, there's been definitely an uptick when it comes down to interest in renewable energies. As you know, running a farm, whether it's a fish farm or any type of agriculture farm for that matter, it does require a great amount of energy with high demand charges. And this is where solar comes in. This is really what the main need of this customer was. He knew that he would have high demands of energy and he needed a way to be able to cope with that. This is where PayOli came in and took an approach to not just basically provide a solar system, but most importantly tackle an energy need during specific periods of time, looking at peaks, non-peaks time that he was going to run this equipment to be able to keep a functioning farm to that point. So this is just an example of what we see taking place in the industry. We see more and more farmers looking into renewable energy as a way to be able to mitigate some of the rising energy costs. And that's one of the main things that we do. We are here to help you through that process, explain the benefits, whether it's the tax incentives behind it, whether it's the extra boost for buying American-made panels. We kind of help you navigate through all these different things that necessarily as a client you might not know, but we as being experts in the industry are able to kind of pinpoint and help you through that process. I mean, there's different ways to tackle that. Ideally, energy independence is a good investment, right? We're so used to renting energy that we don't realize that now we have a means of owning it. The government has put different incentives out there to help, whether it's farmers, dealership owners, small commercial warehouses, you name it, to be able to tackle the rising cost of energy. Designing a system that meets your needs is not a cookie cutter solution. It does require a level of investment when it comes down to doing proper site service, understanding what the needs of the company are, tackling specific electrical infrastructure issues, getting the right approvals with the cities that are required. So it's a process that has several steps that you have to follow in order for the end result to be what you're expecting it to be and meet the expectations. And this is one of the things that we're proud of ourselves here in PayOli. We do take an engineering approach to everything that we do. We really think about the details and we think about the end product to make sure that the investment is worthwhile to what the owner and the customer is expecting.